if you use your gear enough, it's going to break or let you down at some point. The question is, when will that happen and how will it be handled by the manufacturer? I posted a video recently talking about a particularly negative experience I had with Ruger. I bought a 22 pistol. The gun was never really reliable. Bullets started tumbling, sent it back. They want to charge me for a new barrel, or they are charging me. It took a week at least to even get somebody on the phone to take my payment. Looking through the comments to that video, somebody posted that commented that they bought a Ruger centerfire pistol new. It didn't have rifling even in the barrel. It was smoothbore. That's pretty interesting. A bunch of stories where they'd emailed customer service, never got a response. The guns never worked right. Basically, the answer is buy a Volquartsen. If you're smart, don't buy the Ruger. A lot of people in the comments said that. But for, I don't know, let's say there's 100 people that comment and say the gun's garbage, it never works right. There's going to be double that or quadruple that for people that buy the pistol and don't shoot it that much, or maybe got a gun that was built on a Monday morning and it's the right type of ammo and the gun works great and it's everything they'd ever wanted. So there's going to be a mix of both of those. The important part, I think, is how the company handles the issues when they happen. Because it's not if, it's when. In my opinion, if you shoot a fair bit. Like I said, the experience I had with Ruger was quite negative. The only thing I probably ever had worse than that was Kestrel. That was just I couldn't get them to respond at all. Then I made a somewhat benign comment on a friend's social media post. Somebody that works at Kestrel saw it in the comments and got it sorted out, and didn't even reply to my DMs. So it's a weird thing. I have the timer because it's got the loudest beep, and if it breaks, I'll probably buy another one just for teaching. But otherwise, there was basically no support. It was non-existent. Couldn't get anyone on the phone. Couldn't get anyone to reply to my email. Even if I was I just needed to buy a new one, I guess. Otherwise, and the timer was dead in the water. When I got it out of the box looked fine. The timer would not work. Put fresh batteries in it. Tried all the reset, all that stuff. And it just would not pick up a tone. So the functions itself, the menu lit up and it looked like it was on, but it would never pick up or register a shot, regardless of factory reset, firmware update, consulting Google, changing batteries, trying different calibers, all that kind of stuff. So when you're in that situation, what do you do for support? And the other part I should comment on, with the Ruger post, some people are like, hey, a person, somebody like you, they should be treating better. I don't see it that way. Honestly, I want to get treated the same way that anyone else does, because that gives me a good representation of the experience of a regular customer is going to have. I wouldn't want to be, not that I'm that big of a deal. Do you know who I am? I have 3,000 followers on Instagram. You better be nice. That's not a very becoming anyway. And I'm more interested in just knowing how a regular interaction would play out, which is why for this Ruger thing, I just filled out the normal channels. I like Walther pistols a lot, no secret. I'm not paid by them at all. I've got a few magazines and a few guns for free, but otherwise I'm not on their payroll or anything like that. I'm not obligated to even say nice things about the guns. But I broke maybe one, I don't think it was two, I think it was only one striker back in the day on one of my very, very first polymer PDPs. It was a gun I bought used from a friend, and I was just shooting it and dry firing it a ton to kind of assess if I liked it and if I wanted to get more of them. So the tip of the striker broke off, and so I just did what any regular consumer would do. I went to Walther's website, went to the little contact us thing, requested hey, this is what happened. I pulled the striker out, the firing pin tip of it's gone. Can I get a replacement? And I don't remember if I could upload a picture, but if not, hey, I can send you a picture if you need to see, whatever broke. That's it. And Walther sent me a new one. I think I sent the old one in. They sent me a new one. I had the new one within, it was a week or a couple days, something like that. So that was perfect to me. Yeah, the pistol let me down, but it was a used gun. I shot a bunch. I didn't even care. It was those kind of issues are going to happen. But the important part is, can I get service or someone on the phone or somebody reply to my email if I need something? Another good example is Dillon Precision, their reloading presses. I've reloaded a lot of ammunition, and over the years, little parts, springs, something breaks, I need one, not sure how, could you please, any of those kind of stuff. And I mean, sometimes I have to pay for parts. Sometimes it's like a little pin that they'll send me, or a spring, no big deal, or maybe they'll send me one for free and I buy 4 more just so I have extras. Whatever. It's like if I get it for free or I have to pay for it, I appreciate that Dylan has good support where they can diagnose an issue. Well, recently I had a press issue and I actually took a video of what it was doing, put it on YouTube, an unpublished link, sent them the link like, hey, if you were able, could you be able to just watch this video and tell me, what you see? This is what I think it's doing. And I kind of gave them the angle. It was like a 40-second video. I wasn't trying to make them watch me talking for 10 minutes. Video's less than a minute. Would you just click on this? I'll show you what the press is doing to make sure I'm explaining this well to you. Anyway, they watched the video, helped me diagnose the issue. I really appreciate that stuff. Whether, like in that case, I even had to pay for the part that I needed, which was totally fine. I appreciated that they were responsive to messages and they were they had the part I need, or for some company, if it's out of stock or back ordered, nothing they can do about that. But I appreciate companies that have good customer service. Another good example for that, I like the guys, obviously, but Vortex and Hollow Sun, same deal. Being before I was even, probably 10 years ago, I had an issue with the Vortex scope, went through the website thing, was like, yep, sent it in. Scope came back repaired, and it was no big deal. It was like a budget price point scope that I'd had, and like I said, within a week, or maybe it was a week and a half, I'd sent the old one in and the new one was back in my hands. I really appreciate that kind of stuff because I have more confidence buying their products, knowing if I have an issue, it's going to get sorted out. Even stuff I really, really like that I don't think will break, though, I do like to have 2 of. For example, lately I've been on the kick shooting this gun, so my steel frame, dual port comp, Parker Mountain machine top end for a Walther PDP steel frame. So traveling a fair bit to teach classes and for open enrollment classes, shooting this gun a bit just because it's super fun to have something different. It's full send and people like shooting it. But I only have 1 of these. I mean, maybe at some point, apologies, maybe at some point I'll have 2 of them. But for right now, I only have 1. So what do I do about that? I take a second gun with me, not expecting that gun to have any issues. But if it does, then I've got a regular 5-inch Walther steel frame. It'll fit in the same holster, use the same magazines and the same ammo, just recoil slightly more. And so I've got a backup plan in the case that this brand new, I've had it maybe a couple months, but it's already got 3, 4, 5,000 rounds through it. I'm terrible at keeping track of this stuff. But I've shot it a bunch, and even less than 10,000 rounds, I wouldn't expect something to break or be an issue. But if it does, I'm going to have a second one with me. And if something breaks, I'm not going to be all bent out of shape about it because the gun gets hot and I shoot it a bunch. If something major happens, like the slide cracks or the barrel, like the lug shear off, I'd be like, hey, this seems like this should have been a warranty issue. Would you take a look at this? However, if a firing pin breaks or an extractor has an issue or chips or a screw comes loose somewhere, some pin, whatever, it's like, yeah, that's probably just on me because I've shot the gun a ton and those kind of things are going to happen. So, in conclusion, anything you use is going to break at some point. Unfortunately, none of the stuff really lasts forever. I do like having a second or a backup one, if at all possible. For some things, no, like a holster, I'm just going to roll with 1 holster. I'm not going to have 2 holsters. It doesn't necessarily make sense that I need to have 2 rigs. But for some of the consumable parts, like magazines, unfortunately guns, timers, it's nice to have a backup one, depending on what you're doing with them and how much you use them. But the biggest part to me, or the part I appreciate the most, is companies that have good customer service, that if I do have an issue, when something breaks, not if, that they're responsive to messages, and it's easy to work with them to get whatever fixed, whether I have to pay for it or it's warranty. It is what it is when you're putting a lot of rounds or a lot of use on stuff that's consumable. But anyway, I appreciate customers that are, or companies that are easy to deal with, just because for me, it's more confidence in buying their products, because I know if I have issues, I'm going to be able to get it sorted out, because it's probably not if, it's just when. Hopefully it gives you something to think about. If If you have any comments or thoughts or companies that you especially like or don't like, feel free to drop them in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you want. If not, that's okay. Either way, it's fine, and I appreciate you watching.